Bhabishor ji, you will present 25 minutes, okay, and then you listen comments from the external, and then this will be followed by research committee members. Okay, please note down all the comments, and later on you will have to address those comments. All right. So you start your presentation. Try to finish your presentation in 25 minutes. Okay. Over to you.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are.
Let me share my screen. Is it visible, sir?
Yes, it is. Yeah, you can start.
Okay. Good morning and namaste. The head of the department, research committee member, supervisor, and all the esteemed professor. I'm here to present my paper, two papers. One is already published, and next one is publishable. I'm going to publish it. Okay. This is the title of the paper, Decolonial Perspective in English Language Classroom, a thematic review. This is the outline I have prepared here from introduction to references. And this is the introduction. Here is the decolonial practices in English language classroom. First, let me tell out some word regarding English coloniality. The long-standing pattern of the power, especially within the Nepalese academia, especially it emerges as a result of the English colonialism, and it defines the labor, culture, and intersubjective relation and knowledge production very well beyond the strict limit of the colonial administration. So the coloniality, this colonial power is very indirect. The indigenous people cannot know very easily. So it is like a slow poison. So it hampers the local knowledge system. I mean that indigenous knowledge system in the context of the Nepal. So here is the British Raj. The policy of the British Raj develop the language of the ethnic group. I have already shared here the policy of the British Raj subalternize. I mean that silence the languages in the Indian subcontinent. This India is the zoo of the language, indigenous language, but their language were subalternized or silenced, killed by the English only policy during the time of the British Raj. Especially, they were able to create the class of the person, especially Indian in blood and color, but English in taste, opinion, and custom, and their morals. This kind of the things we can see in the British Raj policy of the monolingual language policy, and education system influenced by the monolingual ideology. This is the one. This is the matter of the our country Nepal. When the Janga Bahadur Rana, the prime minister of the Rana dynasty, when he returned from the Europe, especially in the year 1854, he established the Darbar school. Especially that school was conducted in English medium, especially for the elite peoples, to educate the kids of the elite people. So this is the way of English is formal start of the English language in the context of Nepal. So we can see double colonization in the Nepali education system here. I mean that the Nepali language is overshadowed by the English language. Here other vernaculars are silenced by the Nepali language. This scenario can be seen as a double colonization in the context of Nepal. And colonialism refers to the set of the relational experience. Especially people are divided into two categories. One is self and another is other. Especially self is regarded as a supreme or a higher at the higher level, whereas others people are regarded or considered as a deficient and junior in their multilingual society. That's why there are so many decolonial practices we can take here. International Decade of the Indigenous Language. This is the international attempt to decolonize the colonial power construct, especially here. That was established by the United Nations during the time of 2022 to 2032, especially to empower the speaker of the other languages. So this is the thing, decolonizing the legacy of English in the English language classroom is my research purpose. And how do the educators, practitioners, and teachers decolonize the hegemonic role of English is my research questions. Just I have set it to align with the research purpose. Method of the study. I have used the thematic analysis as the method of my study, especially I have used academic databases like ERIC, Google Scholar, Zester to in order to find out the latest published article. So I have used coloniality, decolonial practices, legacy of English, MTP and MLE as a keywords, especially to find out the latest published article to support the main arguments of my study. So I have downloaded 25 research articles on the basis of that keywords, and I have screened 15 articles out of 25 on the basis of the publication year 2016 to 2025. Then I have taken 12 articles to the stage of the eligibility. Then 13 articles were excluded, removed, that had the similar topic and content are duplicated. Then I fixed 12 studies in my study. This is the themes, teacher initiation in decolonial practice to enhance the language learning, especially teacher in the classroom should not be the colonizers. So the students are not colonized. So they should try to make the student understand whatever content he or she is delivering in English. That's why using the direct method is not the good thing in the classroom. So teachers should have the translanguaging approach, using the multiple use of the language to make the meaning clear in the classroom, and segregation, denigration, and resistance under system of the colonial control. So there is the colonial powers. Our curriculum is impressed by the colonial colonial power. Everything is colonized. I mean that impressed by the Eurocentric mindset, which is not good. So we have to encounter that. We as a teacher should encounter or criticize or should resist the colonial curriculum. Or we have to decolonize the curriculum of the West in that way. And learning language depicts the diverse epistemologies, so it boost up the local epistemology rather than the Western power construct. So we should know the faces of the student from the diverse background. Some are from Mawar community, some are from Gurung community, some are from Sepang community. Okay, and how is their knowledge system? How is their local knowledge system? We have to shape their linguistic identity, cultural heritage, and their oral tradition as well. And this is the policy level shift to the decolonial practice. This is the policy level discourse in language in general and English in particular. Okay, and this is the through analytical analysis of the legislative document and educational plan policy. So when I look at the policy level in the existing period of Nepal, NASP 1971, राष्ट्रिय शिक्षा पद्धतिको योजना 2028 prioritize Nepal up to secondary level and English in the higher level. In the secondary level, up to secondary level, primary level, secondary level, the here Nepali language is prioritized, not the indigenous language. So here is the thing. Uh, and Constitution 1990 promulgated to educate children in their mother tongue. This is the first constitution and which address the mother tongue of the student from the diverse community in the classroom. And 2007 interim constitution ensure mother tongue as an official purpose. This is it seems to be developing. Okay, so giving the priority on the indigenous knowledge is growing up rather than in the past. So this is the very good thing. And 2016 SSDB School Sector Development Plan debated in the favor of the English as a precondition for the social, economical, and educational betterment. Here, SSDB 2017 prioritizes in the English rather than other language. And Constitution 2015 provisions to automize local government for the MOI decision. Thus, to take the decision which medium can be used in the classroom, this privilege, this right has been given to the government through the recommendation of the school. And last one is the paradigms in the promoting decolonial practices in English language education. The significance of the hybridity, especially in the classroom, we are habitual to the English only policy. That is not good. It does not address the need and demands of the students from the diverse communities. So there should be the concept of the hybridity in the teachers. I mean that hybridity refers to the mixture of the culture and creation of something new. This is the way. This is the hybridity concept is the very inclusive that should be carried out. That should be carried inside the classroom. And encounter, we have to question the power construct and language hierarchy and cultural biases on the basis of the race, class, religion, or color. Okay, this should not be in the academia. It should be very fair. There should not be the hierarchy, language hierarchy. I mean that everywhere English should not be at the top. Just in America, English should be at top, but in Nepali should be at the center. In Africa, the African language should be at the center. So this kind of the language hierarchy should be ruptured, should be ruptured and should be encountered by the decolonizers. According to the soil, yes, the language should be according to soil. I mean the language should consider the Nepali-ness and culture and accent. Especially we should not be rely on we should not be very fully excessive reliance on the English language. So language should be said according to the soil and culture and accent of that particular speech community. Then extended the nativized English different from the standard English. So we have to develop our own English with codification, codifying with the certain spelling, certain pronunciation, certain vocabulary like that. So our localized variety of English can be different from the standard English of the America or British. That's why this is the thing. And future direction of the decolonial practice, monolingual setting should be turned into multilingual mindset. Our classroom academia cannot be conducted by the monolingual mindset. So assessment system should be changed. For example, topic, I mean that test of the proficiency in Korean, Japanese language proficiency test, Chinese language proficiency test. This kind of the in these countries, the people of that country do not need to speak English in their daily life. So people beyond the English proficiency can be happy. That's why. So
Bhavishor ji, you have already exceeded your given time, so please accelerate. Okay.
okay, sir. This first paper is finished.
Go to next paper.
Let me present second paper, sir. Okay, My first paper has been just finished, so let me present my second paper. So, the exploring influence of English as a medium of instruction on the language teaching and learning. This is the outlines. The introduction, the EMI itself refers to the English can be used for teaching non-English subject like science, health, math, rather than English itself. That's why the especially the EMI and its relation with English language teaching and learning has a long history. There is the conflict between Jai Prakash Malla and Prithviraj Saha of that time. They fell into conflict. Okay, so Jai Prakash Malla of the Kathmandu Valley asked for help for the East India Company to block the resistance of the Prithviraj Saha in 1767. Then people of Nepal come in contact with English language since then. This is the history of the English language, and there is the historical relation between Nepal and British through the recruitment of the Gurkha soldiers, and soldiers had impact in the Nepali education system, and the youth people got admitted in the Gurkha soldiers, and they brought the English words from their what British army. Okay, then this is the history of the English, and then after Darbari school to educate the primarily kids for the elite people in 1854 by totalitarian Prime Minister Janga Bahadur Rana when he returned from the Europe, and highly prestigious language in many outer circle countries here. Outer circle countries, those countries that are known as the former colonies, okay, where English has been used as a second language, and in that country, English has the prestigious language status, and happiest people beyond the English language proficiency. I mean that there might be so many people happier than happiest people, just that they don't have the English language proficiency. And exploring influence of EMI on language teaching and learning. This is the research purpose, and this research purpose has been aligned with the research question: how has the adoption of EMI influenced the language teaching and learning? And this study is contextually delimited to two basic schools. And method of the study, I have used the qualitative inquiry, especially this in the qualitative inquiry regarding ethnography. Okay, ethnography here inherently context and culture sensitive. We have to immerse into the society to know the some of the social intricacies inside the society or inside the classroom to talk about the academia. Focuses on the cultural intricacies, honoring participants' cultural context, and that there are two public school as a research sites. They were conducted. They are conducting English language. Okay, research participants were four, and observation, semi-structural interview, interaction, and artifacts. They were used as a research tools, and thematic analysis developed by Brown and Clark I have used in my study. And status quo of EMI implementation. This is the first theme of my second paper. And here, the status quo of EMI implementation here refers to the how is English perceived in Nepal or in our society. That's the social behavior. This is the main idea I have created here. And participant voices here. Anonymized as JIT argued teachers' behavior got changed before and after the implementation of EMI. Before the implementation of EMI, as he stated, the teachers were not disciplined. Okay, even in the half tiffin, they were out of the school for playing card, and they came to school with sandal. But when after the implementation of EMI, the age Jit stated is a pseudonymized, and he said that the teachers got disciplined. They often come to school with shoes, school uniform, and they stopped going outside during the time of the school time. These are the social behavior. EMI is not only medium. It also refers to the social behavior, social status of the teachers who have been teaching in that school. Center of the excellence. And this slogan, this the school slogan is the small kids of even poor family should have the chance of the English education. There is the narrative, just only rich people, the kids of the rich people can have the access of the English education. But here the fee structure is very low. That's why the kids of the poor family like Kami, Damai, Gurung, Magar, Chepang, the kids of that community come to school to have the English medium. This is the things, okay, that the school has been being the center of the excellence. And BNS, the Buddha Nilkantha school, they some of the students got scholarship in Buddha Nilkantha school from this school. And linguistic capital, cultural capital. This is the literature. Okay, I support this main idea. Positive influence of the EMI facilities increase, and as Jit argued, Darbandi quota, Rahat quota, ECD teachers, office assistant, 11,50,000 funds the school is able to receive from the municipality to buy the school bus within partnership. These facility were added after the implementation of the EMI in that school, but this facility were not there before the implementation of the school. And the number of the student has become 120 from 123 to 291, and the student got globally admitted. I mean that this is that was the school in Chiton district, and some of the students from Dhading, Gorkha, Rukum, okay, got admitted in that school. So this is the I have used that as a globally admitted students are there. Teaching strategy, participant voice. As pseudonymized as Karki stated, translation method is a must than EMI. So English, when the medium is English, the student got fossilized. Students did not understand. So the Karki, she used the translation method to make the sense clear. That's why she said EMI is not everything. Just comprehension is must, she said. That's why GTM is still very dominant method in this situation. Teachers rely on this approach due to the structure and rule-based nature, making it easier to implement the classroom setting. Brown 27, Harmer 2007. And this is the last theme of my second paper, and detrimental influences of EMI, students burnout. And here this is the another side, research side. Okay, this the school is situated in the Magar community. Thus the Magar community, the students from the Magar community, they speak Magar language. They did not understand the English, even Nepali. So here Savita, the pseudonymized Savita, stated student decreased from 155 to 37. In the beginning, before the implementation of the EMI, the student number were 155. After implementation of the EMI, the number of the student has become 37. Why did it happen? I think this is the Magar community. So there might be the linguistic barrier in the students and intelligibility deficit in the student. So this happened. And comprehension crisis. Sabita argued that comprehension crisis occur in both teacher and students. There is the Magar community. Students were in the classroom from Magar community, and the teachers are non-Magar community, from non-Magar community. Okay, so teachers just speak Nepali and English, but teacher cannot speak Magar. The Magar student wants teacher speak Magar language. So there is not a good balance between medium and the vernacular language. So this results in the comprehension crisis. And demotivation of the parents towards school. Participant voice, Sabita stated that English proficiency of the first month resemble to the last month. There is no there is no any symbol of increasing performance. The performance is constant. I mean that result is not growing up. So dropout is, of the student also there causes a linguistic barrier, reinforces intelligibility deficit, Milligan 2020. And this is the conclusion, explores the influence of the EMI on language teaching and learning. So there is no guarantee of the quality education. There is one narrative in the society where is the EMI, English medium school, there is the quality education. This is not in a reality, in ground reality. When I enter the research site, so the one school conducted with EMI doesn't have the quality education. And implication, the findings will contribute the future some of specific strategies like translanguaging. This paper provides head teacher with the insight to plan further EMI implementation. For example, group materials construction, some of the teaching learning resources, teacher education, different kinds of the to share the different kinds of the program. This paper will give the insight, and policymakers will have the insight to bring the context sensitive EMI policy, because average policy does not work everywhere. The policy set in Kathmandu Valley cannot address the needs of the Karnali or Chittagong. So the policy should be set differently. I mean that contextually, this insight will be taken by the policymakers, and then get an idea to explore the problem in their remedy. Even rural municipality can notice, can have the insight and research gap between policy and practice. There is the education section in the rural municipality. Rural municipality will have that insight how to set the policy and how to implement that policy in actual in actual classroom practices. That will be the insight. This is the difference. Thank you, sir. This much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bhabishor ji. Could you please mute? Okay, stop sharing. Thank you. Thank you so much, Bhabishor ji, for well elaborated and timely presentation. You completed your presentation on given time frame. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to invite Taramani Raisha, external evaluator, to provide comments. Bhavishar ji, please take note of the comments. Okay. Over to you, sir.
Sir.
Yes.
My hand got fractured, so may I record?
Oh, sorry. Okay. It's recorded. You can record also.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
So is this audible or not?
Yes, Bhavishar ji, please mute.
Okay, thank you, sir. Head of the department, so Dr. Tikaram Paudel, research committee members, and also I'm very happy to see here Dr. Lavadeep Avasti, former chairman of Language Commission. At first, Bhabishwarji, I would like to congratulate on your wonderful presentation. You presented two papers. The first paper was reviewed article, and that is already published. I really appreciate you. So timely and relevant topic on which you have presented your paper. So the title, Decolonial Perspectives in English Language Classroom, a thematic review. It was just review article, and it is already published. I don't have to say anything more, but I really appreciate for your this kind of brainstorming and new area, and especially the topic on the growing field of decolonial perspectives. in the context of Nepal, and you brought a lot of context. Even you talked something about the International Decade of Indigenous Languages that has already been declared by UN since 2022 to 2032, a decade. And so this decade is being observed in Nepal. And you have talked a lot about the discrepancies of the policies, and you have reviewed a lot of articles. Anyway, I don't have to say anything more about this already published article. Anyway, congratulations, and I hopefully you'll contribute in this kind of area, this very new area in the context of Nepal. Um, I would like to say something about your second paper. It was it was about exploring influences of English as a medium of instruction (EMI) on language teaching and learning. Um, so I think this is being published soon. This is the so this is okay. Your next paper, next okay article. I have few suggestions for you. First, my suggestion comments on your paper is that of okay, you have okay, so given okay sample size, but I think your sample size is it seems to be very small because you have just sampled okay two schools, two head teachers, two teachers, and some parents. So I think okay, this very but very small size sample size, because your topic is okay seems to be okay wide, vague, exploring influences of English as a medium of instruction. Or you need to okay delimitation. You should make okay so delimitations, and then you can okay make this kind of okay sample size. Otherwise okay, it cannot. I think okay it cannot bring up okay what the voices of okay throughout Nepal. My first okay comments were okay. My first okay suggestion to you, and the next okay comments comment is that of okay on the okay lack of the student voice, because so you have okay taken you have okay brought a lot of okay ideas from the students' perspectives, but you have not got okay interviews or any kind of okay voices, because um, there is okay, a critical flow is almost the complete absence from the students' perspective, because okay they are not okay, interviewed, students are not interviewed. I mean is that okay what, so their voices are not reflected in your paper, so I think you should think over it. Next, my okay suggestion is that of okay researchers okay position, positionality. Um, in this article, okay, the author presents himself or identifies himself as an ethnographer, but there is insufficient okay reflections on their own positionality. Means okay, author's positionality is not, it's not okay, but sufficient over there. It makes okay biases. So how did the role okay I mean is that of okay authors okay role and preconceptions influence their observations and interactions. So finally, I think okay about the structural and about the okay, analytical issues. I think okay you will be guided or you'll be okay given ideas by your supervisors. And if you okay want to get your article published from any journals, then okay, journals may have their own style sheet on its what author's guideline that you have to follow, and many things okay you have to do before you get your article published from this journal. So I think okay you need to get ideas about the okay structural and proofreading, about the about okay inconsistencies and many more okay ideas. I think okay you need to so get from your supervisor. But finally, one thing okay, I'm a little bit okay afraid of your what we have okay presentation here. Just to vice versa, your first paper is something about the okay, so decoloniality of decolonization, voice of decolonization is over there, but in the second paper is uh, about your okay what about okay EMI, and you have talked okay a lot of so a lot okay about the okay policies in your first paper, but I think okay so there is a lack in the second paper. You have not talked about okay uh, substantially okay about the policies, especially okay what does constitution say about EMI English medium, yes, and what does okay act say. So this need to be okay I think reflected in your paper, um, only this much.
Thank you so much, Taramani Raisa, for very brief comment on his two papers and very important comments for Bhabishor Gurungji to improve his article. Now, may I request Lamadeva Basti sir for brief comments?
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Bharat sir. Respected all distinguished colleagues. I fully agree with Tara sir. Tara sir has offered very insightful inputs. These things have been extremely relevant for this kind of engagement. And Bhavishwarji has been very committed to demonstrate his potential. I have been very much impressed by his engagement in this process. A great start, actually, wonderful. Both pieces of writing have been very insightful. Number one, first part, published part, just to build on what Tara sir has said. Your work is very interesting, but still very generic. Why is that, Bhavishwarji? We were expecting some kind of more in-depth critical assessment of the issues. Although this has been published, still we are expecting some kind of notes to compensate the limitations of your work, because this article, the published article, raises fundamental issues, but these issues have not been critically assessed. You have been very descriptive in nature. I mean, thematic reviews are fine, but still we were thinking that you could actually provide some kind of more critical views from your side. So what is your observation on the in-depth, going beyond the descriptive part of your article? Would there be a possibility for deepening your understanding and then critically making some arguments in view of decolonizing the language situation in Nepal? So what do you think of that? Bhavishwarji, what is your observation on the published article?
Sir, this is my first experience, sir. So I'm about novice researcher. So what had happened in my first paper? So I will address such feedback in my next paper. This is this much, sir.
Yes, thank you so much. That's very nice of you. We appreciate, issues are there. You've been very good at identifying relevant literature, relevant source of material. These things have been very impressive. Still, we were not happy with the way that you could, gone beyond the surface level construct of knowledge. That surface level construct should have been somewhat further critically assessed and then provided with some newness of knowledge. Now, if you look at newness of knowledge, there is very little to offer. That's why other parts have been very good. I mean, we are so happy that you have been, committed to making a difference. Some of the terminology like vernacular is colonial terminology, so we do not use that often in the article like yours. Your article is something decolonizing, but if you are borrowing vernacular as a kind of terminology to substantiate your study, that would be a little bit uncomfortable. So avoid vernacular, go into something that is relevant to the terminology you can use for language. I mean, you can use local language or some kind of other languages than the mainstream languages or English or Nepali, something. So vernacular remains to be colonial remains of some discrimination. Vernacular was used in order to minorize or minoritize the languages. So in that way, it's good to use other terminologies than the work that you have shown in your this task. Advocacy has been the main issue. I mean, whether you would like to go beyond advocacy or you still remain within advocacy. As a good scholar, you could even go beyond advocacy. Advocacy is fine, that's wonderful. Still, advocacy may be a little bit on the surface level understanding, and you could look at how you provide substantiated documents, substantiated writing in order to decolonize the construct of knowledge, something that could be done in order to induce this. The second article is very good. I really like the way that you have been, fully engaged in the process, as Tara sir has already, talked about. So exploring the influences of English as a medium of in instruction in language teaching and learning. Is it language teaching and why do you need this last part of the title, language teaching and learning? Where does that fit in your article? Is it, is your study focused on medium instruction in other subjects also, such as social studies, science, mathematics, or you are only looking at English as a subject?
I would like to reflect the influence of EMI on language teaching, sir.
Only English?
The I would like to reflect the influence impact of EMI on language teaching in the classroom. So whether it
Okay.
fits.
That's fine, but language teaching and learning, are you only looking at from language perspectives or learning perspective? Learning can be connected to social studies, mathematics, science, other subjects also. But if you look at language, it can be limited to English language content knowledge. So
So
I don't know whether you are really, EMI is not applied only for teaching English. EMI is for teaching other subjects also.
uh,
Right? So did you observe classes that go beyond English, or what was the actual scenario in your Chitwan, this case study?
so may I receive the title, sir? The exploring influence of EMI on teaching and learning.
Well, that could be possible. I mean, you just decide. You discuss with Siddharth sir. Siddharth sir is very knowledgeable. He can help you discuss, because your article does not correspond with the title that you have given here. So you have to make it corresponding with the title. Again, vernacular has been used here. Think of that. You have been very good at linking translanguaging, but still, is translanguaging seen as an alternative or option to EMI? What does the really study show? Does the study show in a way that translanguaging can be a viable option for option to your English medium instruction? Jay sir is also here. Jay sir would give you more idea about that. So what is your connection between the choice of EMI and translanguaging? How do they correlate?
Sorry, what the research side I have observed in the past, that school, especially situated on the um on the side of the indigenous people, Gurung, Magar, Chepang, Newar, okay, they are not very much habitual to English. When the teacher use translanguaging to make the meaning clear, that that will be fruitful, I think, sir.
Okay, but that class that you observed were not using translanguaging. Were there translanguaging in EMI schools?
EMI school, sir.
You have two schools for your EMI study. So
Two,
did
two
you
school,
did
both
two
are
schools?
English medium. Both are
Yeah,
English medium, sir.
yeah. Were there were teachers using translanguaging as a kind of means of their pedagogical choice?
Sometimes they use English, and immediately after using English they use Nepali language. In this way they conducted the class. So I have assigned the I have assigned the label to this data translanguaging.
Okay, that requires some kind of further, because translanguaging is very surface level understanding. So whatever you have understood of translanguaging is not enough. You have to see that how you can see the connection between your EMI school's choice of translanguaging is not clear to us. And then quickly running through one or two points, you don't have to answer all at this stage. You have got positive influence of EMI, and then you have also detrimental influence. How do you see the two scenarios here? Why you have been, the same school, same situation, you have two positioning here: positive influence and detrimental influence. How do
Two
you see them?
two sides, sir. Two schools. The
Okay.
detrimental influences of EMI I have got from one school. That school was situated on Magar community, and positive influence that another schools I have submitted here that information. These
Okay.
are different data, different information from two schools, sir.
Okay. So
One
could you?
school
Yes.
one school
Very good.
is very qualitative, conducting EMI. The one school has the very worsening condition conducting EMI, because they conducted EMI without meticulous preparation, without good well management. So I got the information that way, sir.
Hmm. But you did not actually challenge the use of EMI from theoretical premises. That weakens your study, because we were expecting that you could have presented your arguments in order to critique EMI, whether EMI is the right choice, whether you have been really looking at from theoretical perspectives. You just presented the case without substantiating your argument based on theoretical understanding. That would be a very useful. Your texts are a little bit longer. They accept, the interviews and the other narratives are very long. So think of, your discussion is too little, narratives are too long. So that somewhere you have to think of that. Instead of putting the whole text as narratives, I mean, you can just pick up the essence of the text and then put them there, discuss them in a greater detail. That would be much better for us to utilize your knowledge. So otherwise, you have done a great start. It's wonderful. Siddharth sir is there to help you further to make this more meaningful. Jay sir is also here, so we can have more from him. And Tara sir has given very substantial inputs for you to work on. So thank you so much. Over to you, Tika sir and Bharat sir.
Thank you so much, Laudev sir, for your detailed comments, so that Bhavishorji can embrace his paper. Now, may I request Jayaraj Avasthi sir for brief comments?
Thank you, sir. I have nothing to say actually. Lava sir has, spelled out the things that came to my mind. I have corrected the thesis and sent the written comment to Bhavishor sir. You might have received it from Tika sir. There are two things. I also support Lava sir about translanguaging, because translanguaging is completely hidden. Just translating the things in the mother tongue other languages is not translanguaging only, so therefore you have to check that one. When you say EMI has I mean, you have positive and negative effect, but when you say EMI has no lasting positive influence, what do you mean by it? So should we abolish EMI? EMI has no role at all? Abhishek sir, do your informants say that it has a negative impact, not positive at all?
Positive. Sorry, sir.
EMI has no lasting positive influence.
Positive.
This is your sentence. Anyway, because as Lava sir said, you need to critique on these things. When you write something, you have to critique on them, and you have also to substantiate it with the theories that you apply, the theory that you apply. Be critical. I mean, you have every right to be critical, to say positive or negative. I mean, we cannot blindly follow any system. So therefore, as a researcher, you have to critique also. That's what Lavasar said also. I the same opinion. Regarding language aspect, as I said, I've already sent you the corrected version,
Okay,
and
sir.
my points are there. So I have nothing more than to say. Bharat sir, over to you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Jay sir. Now may I invite Dhanapati sir, and I request Dhanapati sir to be very brief because we have to go
Okay,
for another
okay.
defense also.
Thank
Please.
you, Bharat sir. I'll be very brief. Okay, Bhabishor sir. Okay, I do agree with all the comments that you received from our previous speaker. Now, I think 30 classes you observed, but that observation, okay, notes are the your reflection we did not find in your okay data section. Please include all those observed information is data in your okay data presentation part. Number one. Number two, you talked about okay ethnography as your research method, but you have written method of study. This is not method of study title, methodology that you have to write. And so why this study is ethnographic, I think that is not clearly seen in your write-up. And what part of culture that you brought in order to answer in okay school 1 and school 2, what are the culture practiced by head teacher, EMI teacher? You have said EMI teacher. Okay, can we say EMI teacher? I didn't think so. Two EMI teacher, two parents, and two head teacher. So I think what kind of influence of EMI do they practice? That answer we are expecting, but we do not find in your article. And final concern from my side, a little bit discussion section is necessary. Please enrich it and okay, make it more okay comprehensive. This is all about from my side. Okay, because we are running out of time. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Dhanapati sir. Now I would like to request Tika sir. Tika sir, will you be able to speak? Otherwise, I'll go to Surinder sir.
I can't speak,
Okay,
sir.
okay, Surinder sir,
Now,
please, and then we'll conclude.
Bhabishor,
Okay.
Bhabishor, you log out, and I will give you a call in about 1 minute,
Sir,
and then you have to
may,
log
may,
in again.
may
Tika sir,
Log out.
just a minute. Surinder sir will speak just a
Yes.
minute, and then yes,
ठीक है.
Surinder sir, please.
It's okay, Bharat sir. I will send her. Send
Written
him
comments. Okay.
comments.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Bhabishor ji, please take note of all these comments. Okay, you listen and then take note and make metrics and